I think we're live.
We're live. We're
I'm
live.
Bruno Albuquerque,
And I'm
and
Walter
this is
Curti.
yeah. We're from ELT in Brazil, and today we are going to continue our first course, our course on pronunciation. So this is lesson 3, if you count the course introduction as a lesson, or lesson 2 if you don't. And today we'll keep talking about Underhill's phonemic chart. Since last video, we looked into the monophthongs and the diphthongs. I believe we call them the vowels and the diphthongs, but just so you know, they're the monophthongs and the diphthongs. Pretty similar to Portuguese, right? Monophthongs, ditongos, and the mono, I have no idea how we say that in Portuguese.
I would expect it was the same, you know.
Monotonos, ditongo,
yeah, I'm not gonna risk that one.
So we looked into the vowels and the diphthongs, the monophthongs and the diphthongs, and I have a correction to make. Walter reminded me that when we mentioned this symbol right here, the I exemplified this as better and butter, the at the end, but for better and butter, what you actually have is the schwa and the r, which is the sound, which is right here. So better and butter, it's schwa and right? For this sound, actually, this one here, the example words that Walter brought to light was person and earth. So it's a different sound, right? So person and earth, and not better and butter. Okay, so I'm sorry for that, and thank you, Walter.
No problem.
For the correction. You see,
the same's gonna happen to me. Don't worry.
Yep. And today we're going to talk about, so in the last class we looked into the vowels and the diphthongs here. Today we're going to focus on this area, this big area here, which is the consonants and semi-vowels. All right, so first things first, for us Brazilian teachers, the sounds, the symbols, they very closely relate to the sound you expect. So the symbol, so for example, if you look at a P here, oops, my arm is disappearing. If you look at a P, the P sounds exactly as you would expect it to sound. The B sounds exactly as you would expect it to sound. The T, the D, the K, the G, the F sound, the V sound, the S, the Z, the M, this N right here, this one is a bit different. The H sound as in H, right? The L sound, the R sound, the W sound, and this one is a bit different as well, this right here. Okay, so let's go from the top. This is also organized as in the position where the sound is produced in your mouth. So if you pay attention, we're going to do one and skip one. Okay, so we're going to do this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and this. Okay, we're going to do these two. Notice how the sound moves from the front of your mouth to the back here, going to your throat. We get p, t, ch, ch, ch. This is ch as in chow, or as in chia, or as in touch, and k as in cat, and g as in go, right? So again, now let's include the others. So p, b, t, d, ch, j, ch, j, k, g. Right, so this is b as in ball, t as in teacher, d as in doll, ch as in chia, chow, touch. This is j as in just, justice, justing, right? K as in cat, and g as in go. Yeah. And then here, as you would expect, this is fika, or fact. This is vida, or vendetta. Jesus, that's the first one that came to my mind. Therapy. This is the th sound, the one that students have difficulties with, very common difficult sound for especially Brazilian students. So this is the th as in think, or both, think and both. This is the th sound as in that and these. Think these. Think these. As in sizzle, z as in zebra. This is sh as in shower, and this is j as in janta, or juiz, or anything else.
In the ja.
Nausea. And there was a word that you
Usually.
mentioned. Right? Usually. Here, usually. This is the j sound, right? And again, let's focus on these two lines now, because they have something that is very particular to them. The sounds are organized in voiceless and voiced. What does that mean? Let's look at these. I like these two. Jesus. Let's look at these two here. The F sound and the V sound. Produce a very long F sound and put your hand on your throat. Very long F. Okay. Now produce a very long V and keep your hand in your throat. Do you notice the vibration here? Right? This vibration is the voice that we talk about. So the F sound is voiceless. So there's no voice, is unvoiced. The V sound is voiced. There is voice, there is vibration of your vocal cords. And what I find interesting about these two is that pay attention on the position of everything in your mouth. So look at teeth and lips, how they are organized. And look at V. It's the exact same position. It's the exact same articulation. The only difference here is that in F, you don't vibrate, and in V, you vibrate, right? It's very similar to P and B. In P, there's no vibration. And very important, if you want to do this experience, you cannot add a vowel because all the vowels are voiced, right? So if you try P or P or P, it's going to vibrate every single time, but not because of the consonant, not because of the P, but because of the vowel that you include, right? So try to do the consonant sound on its own, and then you notice you get P and B, you get T and D. Again, voiceless, unvoiced, and voiced, right? T, T, and D, D. Notice that your tongue is touching this bone behind your teeth, right? So you get T and D, T and D, right? So here we have the TH as in think. It's voiceless. It's very smooth. It comes out very smoothly. This is what I usually tell my students when teaching the th sound. They usually add the t sound to the words, right? So they say they want to say the number 3 and they go with tree, right? And they include the t sound of the t, right? There is no t in 3. So 3 begins with a very smooth sound. It esfrega para sair. It goes 3. There is no impact. T, that there's impact in T, right? It's there's this little explosion here when you go, right? In 3, there isn't. Yeah, so it's 3. This is the same mouth position, same everything, but you vibrate. So think, very smooth, no vibration, and that. I think that. You see, you get the vibration before the vowel here. I think that. Right? S and z, same thing. Unvoiced and voiced. S, z, right? Ch, j, same thing. So ch, unvoiced, j, voiced, and then we go the sh sound, the s looking thing, right? So this is sh as in shower, and this is j. So sh, the television sound, and this is j, right? So sh, j, j. Again, the difference is voiceless and voiced, unvoiced and voiced. Right? What that means is that if you're producing, for example, a p sound and a b sound, if you have a piece of paper in front of you, get the piece of paper. If you don't, pause the video and get a piece of paper. Okay? If you're watching this live, get a piece of paper right now. Will this show? Sort of. Yep. So what I want you to do is to get this piece of paper, put it in front of your mouth, and make the P sound. Now make the B sound. B, 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 b. Do you notice that for P, there's a lot more air? Let's try T, the sound, the T sound and the D sound. D, d, d. Notice that for T, and there's a lot more air than in D. It's because the sound, for you to make the P sound and the T sound, you have to put a lot more air because there is no voice. So because there is no voice, the sound has to be heard because of the explosion of air or the flow of air. How can I put this? Rubbing on your articulators. So as in, what do you expect the F sound or the V sound to produce to require more air to be heard? So you have more air in the F sound because it's voiceless, right? So you get, and there is air for both, of course, right? But there's more air for F than there is for V. Same thing with the TH as in think and the TH as in that. So we got think, there's more air than that, these and those, because you need the air to make the sound, right? It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah.
It is.
And then
it is.
it is, right?
I love it. What am I gonna say? I love it.
Yeah, huge fan. Like pronunciation is it's very dear to me. And then here you have the M sound, as you would expect, right? M sound you produce by closing your mouth and letting the air flow through your nose. So right? Mother, yeah. This is N. you get your tongue on this bone behind your teeth and let the air flow through your nose. Nature. This is the sound of ing, for example, the sound in shopping, the final sound, shopping and going and doing and playing. Notice that this sound is made here in your, it's made here in your throat, right? So what you get is the accumulation of air here and not being let go from your throat. So you have shopping here, doing, and notice that this is not an N, because when you say doing, and shopping, your tongue never goes into the N position. Hold a very long N, and you notice that your tongue is on this bone behind your teeth. That's the N position. That's an N, right? Remember, we mentioned that sounds are physical, right? So if sounds are physical, their articulation is physical. So there's the N position there, right? So, and when you go shopping, the is here. Your tongue never goes to N position. So this is not an N sound, right? Here is also on your throat is hot, right? Hot here. Okay. The L sound, as in lame, as in little, and Walter was mentioning the difference between that there is what we call the clear L, which is the L in late and in lentils, and we have the dark L as in little, the O, the final L there, the O sound, because the difference is that in the clear L, the to produce the L sound, there are two movements. There is, let's say, you prepare the sound and you let go. So there is lata. So there is this anticipation and then go, right? Very similar to T and D, right? You prepare and you go and you let go, right? So for the clear L, you prepare la and let it go. So there is this this opening here. For the dark L, there's only the preparation. So little, and you stop there. You don't go little, right? You prepare it and you unprepare it, right? You don't let it go. Yeah. This is the R sound, as in door and porta, right? And rat and what else? Motor, right? The sound, as in batter and butter, right? So butter, yes, as in person and earth. Look at it here, right? It's a combination. Yeah. These two, the last two, they're the semivowels, right? So here is the glide. We call it glide, the w sound. Is this right, Walter? Now I'm not sure.
I mean, you can come again.
This is the glide, right?
For
these two.
You mean the wa sound?
Yeah.
Wa sound. Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, I believe so. So this is the w, right? As in worker and well, right? The w, and there is this anticipation. It goes what, right? To make the sound. Same thing with the y. This is the sound in u. It's not e u, eu, EU or EU. It's You,
Such as in university.
you, as in university, as uniform, right? And this is why we say a university instead of an university, because it's not a vowel sound. If it were university, it would be an university, any university, but it's not it's university, uniform.
Which takes us, Bruno, to the law of least effort, right? It
Right.
would be difficult. It would be difficult to say an university. It's difficult to pronounce that, right?
A universe, an university, and because it would have this the NH sound in Portuguese, right? The
Isn't it? Yeah.
The nya, right? And there's no such thing in English, right?
Yes.
And I think we have reached the end of today's presentation. So we looked at the monophthongs, the vowels here, and the diphthongs. We looked at the consonants. So I believe the biggest takeaway here is, obviously, knowing what the sounds represent, right? So knowing that this is ch and this is j, right? This is think and this is that, right? The shopping and doing, playing here. So being able to identify the symbol and know which sound that is, I think it's also, I think it's very important. But also this relationship of voiced and unvoiced. I think it's one of the it's another takeaway. So first, the symbols and the sounds, their connection, and then
I think it has a lot to do.
Unvoiced.
I think it has a lot to do with the recognition of sounds. If you're a novice teacher out there, and you look at those, because you look at those symbols in the book, if you're using, whatever material it is, and then if the material you're using has those, right? You see that little part in the book that says pronunciation, and then you have some items connected to phonology, and you're like, oh, what am I going to do there? And lots of teachers just skip that part, right? Like it would be, if you can recognize them, start working with them, it's something that you don't have to be afraid, to work with anymore. So that does make a difference. Bruno, can I add something that I think we forgot to mention?
Sure.
Maybe we did. I don't remember, which is every vowel sound is voiced, right? So like whatever vowel sound you have, it's going to be voiced. And then when we look at the consonant sounds, I think things get a lot more interesting, like for you to play with the sounds, right? In this discovery, and because there's just so much to talk about when you're talking about vowels as well, but the consonant sounds, there's just a lot of interesting things to discuss here. Like you're talking about the dark L and the clear L, yeah. Recognizing those little differences, and then the alveolar sounds, like the T sound, the bone at the back of your upper teeth. There's so much to say. Can I include one that I think is fun?
Sure.
Yes. Okay. It has to do with the TH sound that we Brazilians, I've seen teachers teaching the TH sound in like the most memorable ways, and I think it's all of them are valid and great. If you're helping the student use the TH, I think we don't always.
But there's
Which
one that
one?
I really dislike. It's comparing the TH sound to people who have a lisp.
Oh no, that's just wrong.
Yes, I think that's horrible.
That's
right. I think
horrible.
that's horrible. Don't do that.
And it doesn't work, right? It's the same
it's
thing.
A different sound, and for different reasons, right?
Very mean, right? It would
sure,
be very
carry on.
mean. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say that you remember the last week you talked about the variations of English, and there are so many. And then, for example, if you're learning, let's say you move to Ireland, there are variations of the Irish accent in which they don't use the th like we do, or Americans, British people in general. They would actually say, "What do you think of this?" It's a T sound for think, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it happens to all of them. I don't think they would say I think thank you would be, I'm not sure, but yes, that happens. And the T's and D's like in American English, because you see, for us we think it's an R sound because we have right? That's a flap. But if you talk to an American, it's like, what's that sound, for example, in spider? And I'm like, yeah, that's a D. They think that's a D sound, right? And it is a D, but it's flapped, and it happens to the T as well, right? Like attitude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I think consonants are more interesting. And one of the things, if you manage to get your hands in Adrian Underhill's book, or even there is one which is way cheaper. What's right here? It's Kelly, Gerald Kelly. It's How to Teach Pronunciation. From that series, it's How to Teach English, Pronunciation, Vocabulary, Grammar, all of them. And there is a moment in there's a chapter in the book that both Underhill and Kelly, they help you find the sound in your mouth, right? So I believe that this exercise of consciously thinking about the sounds is very interesting, and it's going to help you with your pronunciation, because many of those sounds, we do them, probably all of those sounds, aside from the TH sound, let's say, that we had to artificially, not artificially learn, is that negative, to implant in our sound system. All of the others, they come very naturally to us, and we're not conscious of them. And I believe that
there are even people who say we cannot teach some sounds, like the person has to kind of find it, like, because it's such a physical thing, right? Like how do you work with that in a lesson? And this is actually the topic of our last part of the course, right? And we're gonna try to implement those, but yeah, no spoilers.
No, yeah, I think they can be taught. I think there are finer shades of pronunciation that are difficult to teach, such as intonation and rhythm. Not really sure those can be taught. They can be shown, they can be explored, but well, different topic. We're getting there.
Yes.
But this exercise of consciously understanding and perceiving the sounds, I think this will take you to a next level. This is one thing that I found to be very true, is to be able to do something gets you in a level of proficiency in teaching. Understanding how it works and why you do that takes you up a notch.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I think I think we could say that this is one of our objectives with this channel, isn't it, Walter?
It has to be, right? And
yeah.
It definitely is.
Not just being a doer, but being someone who understands the whys and what's going on behind it. I think.
It is taking the step and actually using, right? Can I make one more? Because I think there's one more thing we didn't talk about, which is the spelling. Some sounds, like it's very interesting how some of them will take, some sounds are like, for example, the k sound, like the sound of the cat. You see that in the sound of C. You can see that in other places, in the CH, for example. If you think of the sound of ch, like chow, right? And you are gonna see that sound in many words that start with the CH, such as challenge, and in the CH in teacher, it's there, right? But you also get k sounds such as chemistry.
Oh,
so
true.
you have to remember that there is not really a rule that will take like spelling and sound, right? And I think we forgot to mention that one, but that's also an interesting area. Yeah.
Yeah. There are some rules, but they're
Oh,
so
yes.
far and few between, and there are so many exceptions
The
that
nightmare of exceptions.
I wouldn't bother. This was so Dad, if you're watching, so you're in the video now. This was a question that when I was teaching my dad English, he asked me for the rules of spelling and pronunciation, the relationship.
And it's a nightmare.
I mean, yes, there are some, but I wouldn't bother if you're not focusing in orthography and spelling and sound. If you're not taking a master's in that, I wouldn't bother.
And plus, I don't think it makes much of a difference in the end, right? Like you said, this sounds, it's a matter of making that discovery of where the sound is, and things become, automatic quite easily. Right? So it doesn't take much time. When people are learning I wouldn't qualify Brazilians as like one of those learners who have like lots of problems with pronunciation, really. I think we do fine. If I were to generalize, of course.
Yeah. Walter, I think this is a wrap. And
yes.
I am very proud to leave the stage for the next two sessions to Walter, who will be leading the two next sessions on connected speech. So next Tuesday and the other Tuesday.
That's going to be fun.
Little spoiler, Walter. Can you give everybody like a tiny spoiler?
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna touch the camera here. Well, we're going to be taking a look at things are very intertwined. So we're this thing with the sound of wa and e sound. They have they have some characteristics of on their own. So we're gonna talk about how words merge in speech when we're talking, and there are quite a few of them. We are not going to be able to talk about all of them in 2 videos, but I think you were gonna learn some nice things about it, and they're quite a few, really. When we're talking about, because I don't want to give spoilers, I really don't. I'm trying so hard. I don't want to give you any spoilers, but and I don't even want to give you names. I don't think knowing the name is what matters. I really want to get there and help you use the features we're going to discuss in the upcoming lessons, the 2 lessons we're going to have. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to touch on 3 or 4 of them. I'm hoping 4. But yes, it's something that is definitely very, very useful.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. I love connected speech. So thank you everyone for coming. This is ELT in Brazil, and I hope to see you folks in the next lessons. See you. Bye-bye.
See you.